What's going on, everybody? Adam from South Harmon Fantasy Football here to bring to you again some Dynasty targets, and this time a little gem, a Dynasty stash. If you're new to the channel, go down, hit that like, comment, subscribe if you find this useful and actionable. But without further ado, let's get right into it. The first one here is a screaming buy. Hold on, he's outside the top 50. That's right, top 50 receivers at Keep Trade Cut. Currently has double-digit targets in the 2 games he's played this year. He's an undrafted player, so his sketchy profile is going to allow you to buy this player at a very reasonable price, which is why I'm very in on Jakobi Meyers. He doesn't have that big dynasty allure because he's young. He's 26 years old. Well, of course, your league mates are going to cite all those things, and the fact that he probably has a low ADOT. Average depth of target. You may not like these players, and of course you don't. They're not the sexy ones, but for me, these are the ones I want to buy because I can chase targets. A guy that's earning this many targets, has a brand new contract, and is trusted in this Raiders offense. Let me give you a sneaky tip. Something that can actually happen, as these Raiders are 1-2, right? The fact that the Raiders are 1-2 and they're losing to the likes of the Pittsburgh Steelers last night, here's the truth. This team may continue to lose ball games, and if this team isn't winning ball games, DeVonta Adams is going to want to be on the move. And if he's gone, that's even more targets to come to the way of Jakobi Meyers. Keep Trade Cut has him below a second-round pick. That's crazy. If I'm a contending team, I'm sending a second-round pick easily for Jakobi Meyers. And straight up, I'll send Jonathan Mingo, Take Dell, Romeo Dubs, as well as Marvin Mims. Now, if you really want to use Warp and the A-Warp cheat code that we've figured out here, Koopa Troopa, running these numbers for you, in a lineup league especially, the tight end position is one you want to get off of. And even in a tight end premium league, you probably have too many of these tight ends stored up on your roster. You don't want all that dynasty value stored up at the tight end position. Go ahead and move that tight end and pick up Jakobi Meyers. Add him to your dynasty value and your repertoire of receivers, sending the likes of Luke Musgrave, David Njoku, Evan Engram, or even Pat Freiermuth for Jakobi Meyers. Now that's a money move. Dynasty buy number 2 is Elijah Moore, wide receiver from the Cleveland Browns. Adam, he hasn't even finished inside the top 40 wide receivers in 3 weeks. Before you bite my head off, at least hear me out on Elijah Moore. Chase the opportunity with Elijah Moore. He hasn't gotten 50 yards in a single game, hasn't reached the end zone in a single game, and people are out here hating on him.
Fuck is haters? Because they ain't us.
Let those haters be the reason that you buy Elijah Moore, because all that opportunity is something I absolutely want to buy.
Opportunity of a lifetime.
Especially in my best ball leagues. Now, in a shallow lineup league, I completely understand if you want to be out on Elijah Moore. Touchdowns are likely to come at some point. And some of these big plays are waiting to happen. This offense for the Cleveland Browns is starting to click. It needs some time still to develop. Shitheads, go get Elijah Moore while he's on everybody else's shit list. Price very similar to Jakobi Meyers on Keep Trade Cut. If Elijah Moore can be had for a second-round pick on a contending team in best ball, now that's a money move. Dynasty buy number 3. It's time to get back to our roots. The tier down approach. That's right, shitheads. We're tiering down. All you Drake London, Zay Flowers, Jordan Addison, your Jahan Dotson, all these youthful guys. But in Dynasty, I'm also trying to win. I want to score points. Holding all this Dynasty value. Newsflash.
And here's a newsflash.
They probably could score the same amount of points this season. If not, Christian Kirk scoring more points than all those young guys. I mean, is there really still a dummy out there that's going to let me get Christian Kirk for JMO? If I can get Jameson Williams 1-for-1 for Christian Kirk, sign me up. Now, if I can find a dummy out there that's going to let me get a first with Christian Kirk, tearing down from Drake London, Zay Flowers, Jordan Addison, and the likes, that's too easy. If someone's going to let you even get a second with Christian Kirk, now that's a money move. All right, so I've been putting this off for a while. I've been meaning to talk to you about your stash. It's awful. It's absolutely terrible. It's embarrassing. Stop wearing that thing around.
Oh my goodness. Don't throw up.
Let's go ahead and get that stash game up. Now, you've heard me preach and talk all about chasing opportunity, chasing volume. And while that's true, it's time to talk about some volume, because when it gets to volume, loud noises! There are times where there's a amount of touches that are going to be concerning for me. And right now, with all the touches that Tony Pollard is getting, he's leading all running backs, including Christian McCaffrey, who's being used and abused by San Francisco this year, at damn near 25 touches a game. To give you an idea of how crazy that is at a pace relative to what we saw all of last year. Derrick Henry at basically 24 a game, Josh Jacobs at 23, and Saquon Barkley at 22. Listen, yeah, go ahead, chase that opportunity. No one's telling you to sell Tony Pollard, but the reality is in a 17-game season, all that volume is very likely to break down a guy like Tony Pollard. I want to get cheaply, and I'm going to help you get a nice little new stash in Rico Dowdle, because not that he scored a touchdown last week, this is strictly a lineup purchase because in lineup leagues, I'm looking to stash this player into my bench where I don't have to worry about starting him. And knock on wood, we don't ever want injuries to happen. But if something was to happen with Tony Pollard and all these touches he's getting, guess who's going to be the beneficiary? Rico Dowdle, and you can get him right now super cheap in your Dynasty League.
Nice, how much?
As a speculative purchase, I prefer not to send liquid draft capital for Rico Dowdle right now. However, I'd love to send some of these roster clogger receivers, Darius Slayton, Tyquan Thornton, something in that range, in a perfect way to get him, in a lineup league especially, and that's the only place I'm going to be stashing Rico Dowdle. When someone sends you a trade and you think it's really close, kind of want to take it, go ahead and hit him with the ATM.
They've done studies, 60% of the time, it works every time.
Add that Rico Dowdle in there. They're probably not going to think nothing of it and accept that trade, that nice little stash of Rico Dowdle for free. Now that's a money move. And if you enjoyed this content, go ahead, hit that like, the thumbs up button, comment, and let me know what you thought of the video, of the trades, of the stash, and more importantly, what you're going to do and who you're going to try to buy and target in your Dynasty Leagues. We'll see you next week on ATM's Money Move.